How y'all doing, good people? I appreciate y'all tapping in today. We're gonna have a pretty good live stream today. I got some good stuff I want to talk to you guys about. But before I get started though, I want you guys to do me a couple of huge favors. The first thing I want you to do is hit the thumbs up button. Hit that like button for me. It will allow YouTube to get this live stream and the video out to more people. The way it works is the more people that hit the like button, the more the algorithm, the YouTube algorithm, pushes the content out to more people who are not familiar with the channel. And obviously you guys know I'm trying to grow this channel, grow our audience, grow our community, so we can get as many people as we can to financial freedom. So please hit the thumbs up as soon as you come in the live stream, hit the thumbs up as soon as you come in the video. And that will be greatly appreciated. Thank you so much for that. Hitting that like button is very important. The second thing I want you guys to do for me is consider getting up to 12 free stocks from Webull. Webull is going to give you up to 12 free stocks when you open a new Webull brokerage account. Put any amount of money in that brokerage account. They're going to give you up to 12 free stocks for just trying out their brokerage app. There's a link down in the description box of this video. Click on that Webull link. Open up your new Webull account today. Go get that free stock. Go get that free money. I'm going to also send you a Webull tutorial video to help walk you through how to use the Webull app to make your first trade. All you got to do is send me a DM on Instagram at RichardFain28. Let me know you opened the Webull account and let me know that you have funded the Webull account. And then I'm going to go ahead and send you that Webull tutorial video so that you can start buying your favorite individual stocks and your favorite ETFs and start building wealth immediately. Well, guys, in today's video, I want to walk you guys through the 5 things you need to stop buying to get rich. Now, when I say rich, really I'm talking about wealth, right? I'm talking about financial freedom, right? And if we don't protect the income that we make from these 5 things that I'm getting ready to walk you through, then guess what? We ain't gonna get rich. Guess what? We're not gonna build wealth. And then ultimately, we're not gonna get to financial freedom. So let's get started. Number 1 thing to stop buying is a house. Now, I know a lot of y'all gonna say, what the world is this guy talking about? A house is an asset if that house grows in value over time. And typically a house in a good location, a home in a good location will do that. Why would I not want to buy a house? Why would I not want to buy a home? Well, hear me out. For someone who is in the building stage of wealth process, right? They're not in the enjoyment stage, they're in the building stage. In the environment that we're currently in right now, interest rates for 30-year fixed rate mortgages are 7.5%. Sky high. We also have very low inventory. So that means home prices are elevated. Why? Because it's a seller's market, right? When there's low inventory and sellers can demand whatever they want to demand because there's no other choices for you to pick from. It's low inventory. So it's a seller's market. So you got high interest rates, 7.5%, plus you have elevated prices on homes. And you are already doing every single thing you can to scrape together down payment. You also, with a 7.5% interest rate, your monthly mortgage payment is going to be astronomical, right? It's going to be huge. So it's going to demand a lot of that income in order to satisfy that mortgage payment. which in most cases for folks will leave them in a spot where they're not able to invest money in other assets other than this home. And like I said, with 7.5% interest rate, the bulk of that monthly payment is all interest. So you're not going to be bringing down the principal that much for the first 5, 7, 8, 10 years with a 7.5% interest rate. On top of that, you're paying a premium for the property. And in most cases, paying a premium for property in the right location, that wouldn't bother me if I was already someone who was established and is building wealth or in the enjoyment stage of wealth. Because I'm a firm believer in, if you buy real estate in the right location, it will always increase in value over time. But if you're a beginner and you haven't built any wealth, I don't think you start with buying a house as your first asset. I think what you do is you redirect those dollars and you find another asset to build wealth that is not super expensive for you to actually get that asset. And I'm talking about paper assets in the stock market and starting a business. So those are two of the big three. The third leg of the big three is real estate. But again, if it's just for you to live in, you're not going to be renting out. You're not going to Airbnb it. You're not going to house hack it. You're just going to live in it. And you're going to pay a 7.5% interest rate. And you got to come up with the down payment, 3.5% all the way up to 20%, depending upon if you're a first-time home buyer or not. And you guys already know our personal savings has dwindled down from $2.1 trillion all the way down to $190 billion over the last 2 years. So a lot of you are not going to have the down payment anyways. So you got 7.5% interest rate fixed. You got elevated home prices. And on top of that, your savings, your personal savings may not be adequate enough to put the down payment down. So all I'm saying is consider, if you're just going to live in that house without doing anything to produce income with that house, no house hack, no traditional 1-year renter in there, no Airbnb, you're just going to live in it. It's going to produce no income for you. All it's going to be is an asset that over time could possibly increase in value, but in the short term, it's going to take money out of your pocket because you're going to have to service the debt on the loan, right? You're going to have to pay for property taxes. You're going to have to pay for property insurance. God forbid you have to have a major repair done, like the roof, or foundation, right? So you're going to be pouring all this money into this house, but it's not going to be giving you any money back. So why would I want to have that as my first asset? I would have to consider not having that as my first asset. My first asset should be something where I can take my income right now, put it in that asset, and get an immediate return on it. And I think right now, paper assets is a great opportunity to do that. Paper assets like the S&P 500 ETF that tracks the S&P 500 index. Some individual stocks are also a good opportunity right now for us to buy these assets at a discount. And we don't have to have a bunch of money to do it. See, I don't need 3.5% to 20% to put down on this asset. If I got $100, I can start with that. If I got $500, I can start with that. If I got $1,000, I can start with that. And just start dollar cost averaging into these paper assets that I talk about a lot on the YouTube channel. And I think you put yourself in a position to start building wealth now and give you a foundation. Now, when interest rates start coming down in a few years, right? And prices stabilize in the housing market because we have more inventory, and perhaps at some point it becomes a buyer's market where I have plenty of homes to choose from. Now I got the advantage, because if a seller says, nope, I'm not going to take your offer, guess what you say? Well, I'll go to your neighbor. maybe they take it, or maybe that neighbor next to that neighbor. It becomes a buyer's market when prices stabilize and we have more inventory on the market, right? And then when interest rates come down under 5%, I think that's a perfect opportunity for someone who wants to buy a home just to live in. They're not going to produce income with that home. They just want to live in it. That becomes the appropriate time, in my opinion, to take your hard-earned money and put it into that asset. And real estate is a great asset. One of the biggest ways people build wealth in this country is through their home, through their primary residence. So I'm not saying never buy a home. I'm just saying right now, consider not buying a home and focusing that money on an asset like paper assets, ETFs that track the S&P 500, core specific ETFs that track a sector. And then maybe some individual stocks of big boy companies, blue chip companies that are trading at a discount right now, that in 5 years, in my opinion, will be trading at a premium. And when I buy at a discount and I hold that investment, I hold that paper asset, 3, 5, 10 years, and that paper asset keeps going up in value and it's trading at a premium. I bought it at a discount, it's trading at a premium. All of my net worth is in between that discounted price I paid and the premium it is today. That's how you build wealth over time using paper assets. So yes, I believe right now, for a lot of folks that are just starting to build wealth, I don't care what age you are, but if you haven't built wealth and you're in the building stage of wealth, consider not buying a home if you've not already bought one, and then redirecting those dollars to something like paper assets. The second thing I would ask you to consider investing money in right now, other than a home, is a business. See, in my opinion, the best time to start a business is when nobody else wants to start a business, because you got less competition. And normally people don't want to start a business when you have an economy that's volatile, when you don't know if there's going to be a recession or not. You know, 1 week, no recession. The next week, oh, there may be a recession, right? That's the best time to start a business because you have less competition, right? You can come up with a solution to a problem people are having. You create a product or service to solve that problem and you introduce it to the marketplace. It doesn't take a bunch of money to do that. It does take a good idea and it does take execution, but it doesn't necessarily have to take a bunch of money in order to introduce a product or service to the marketplace. And then if the marketplace feels like that product or service will solve their problem, boom, you've started a business and you get instant cash flow. Then you can take that cash flow and start investing it in things that are passive that will grow it over time. And again, doesn't mean you don't come back around and buy a home that you want to live in, your primary residence, but you're just waiting a few years until it makes sense. Now, for those of you that say, well, hey, I'm buying a 1 to 4 family dwelling to rent. Well, that's different. This is for someone who is just getting ready to buy a home that they're going to live in. They're not going to produce income from that home. I'm telling them to think about not doing that and redirecting those dollars to an asset that will start creating wealth for them right away, that they don't have to pay 7.5% interest to a bank in order to get the asset. You buy a home right now, you're going to pay a bank 7.5% interest. That's a lot of interest, guys. A lot, especially on a 30-year fixed rate mortgage. It's a lot of interest up front. So consider that. That's the first thing I want you to consider. Stop buying so that you can get rich. Now let's move on to the second thing, which has been really, really, really a problem for a lot of you guys. It's been a pain in the neck, and that's get rich quick scams. Guys, I tell you all the time, if it's too good to be true, it probably is, right? You got all these people coming at you. Why? Because the economy is a little bit suspect, right? It's a little volatile. The stock market, traditional way of investing through the stock market, right? Dollar cost average in, do that for a long period of time. That right now for a lot of people is scary because they see all this red. They see all these great companies and these great ETFs losing value. You look at the stock market this week, it's been crazy. It's been red all week, right? And that scares people when they see red, even though if they get their behavior with money right and they understand how to build wealth, red should be a great thing for you right now if you're in the building stage of wealth. Why? Because you want to buy assets at a discount. When they're red, it's a discount, right? In the enjoyment stage of wealth, you want them all green because they can produce more income because they're more valuable, right? When you build wealth, you want to buy as much as you can low. And then at some point when it's time for you to use that wealth to generate income, you want it to be trading at a premium. You want it to be at a premium at that point, right? But while I'm in the building stage of wealth, the more of these great companies and these great ETFs I can get at a discount, the better. But scammers use that against you, right? They play on that emotion, that fear emotion, right? So you got these get rich quick scams. Hey, guess what? I'm going to teach you how to Forex trade. I'm going to teach you how to day trade. I'm going to teach you how to options trade, right? I'm going to teach you how to buy crypto, right? I'm going to guarantee you 30, 40, 50, 60, 70% return on your money within the matter of weeks. And they come into your DMs, they send you emails, they catch you in the comment section of the YouTube videos. And guess what they do? They offer this wonderful investment to you. The only problem is it's a scam. That's the only problem. But a lot of us are falling for this. Why? Because we are looking for shortcuts in many cases. We're trying to figure out how do I get out of having to invest for 10 years to get wealth, and I can just collapse that time frame and get wealth in a year. I can get rich right now. How can I get out of having to go get a side hustle and make $500 a month through the side hustle where I got to give, 10, 15, 20 hours of my time to make that $500 a month or $500 a week? How do I get out of having to do any of that and I can just instantly get that 500 or that 1,000 or that 1,500 in a week and not do anything? See, these get rich quick scammers, they know how to find people and push buttons because most of us don't understand anything about investing, right? So when someone comes to me and says, hey, I'm gonna teach you how to Forex trade. Guys, do you understand the level of difficulty it is and the level of skill set you have to have in order to make money in the Forex market? Don't you know there are companies that spend millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars every year in the Forex market and still don't make money? But yet and still, some joker gonna slide into your DMs or send you an email and tell you they're gonna teach you how to beat the system. They're gonna teach you how to make money. In the Forex industry, market, come on guys. Same thing with day trading. Same thing with options trading. Come on guys, these are highly, highly difficult ways to make money. 1% of people who do those three ways of trading make money. 1%. 99% don't make no money. I've talked to hundreds of people who have tried day trading, options trading, Forex trading, crypto trading, and I don't remember one of them making any significant money that will put them in a position where their assets will take care of their lifestyle through passive income. None of them. All I'm telling you is stop looking for shortcuts. The only way 99% of us are going to build wealth is the traditional way of investing. That's dollar cost averaging into proven investments, historically proven investments that actually multiply money, right? That's the way most of us are going to get it. So we got to get out of this idea of I can get rich quick. 9 out of 10 times, guys, it's a scam. And the reason I know it's a scam because I get all of the emails once the person has gotten scammed. See, they can't find me before the scam. But once they get scammed, then they can find me on Instagram. Then they can find my email address and say, oh, somebody act like they were you and they took my $1,000. They told me they were going to set up a crypto account for me and trade Bitcoin. And I sent them my $1,000 through Cash App. I sent them my $1,000 through whatever they sent it through. They were pretending to be you, Richard. What do you know anything about this? No, I don't, guys. I tell you every day in my videos to watch out for scammers. Stop looking for shortcuts. And therefore, that person just lost $1,000. That person just lost $2,500. That person just lost $5,000. Why? Because of get rich quick scams. If it sounds too good to be true, guys, it probably is, right? There is no 40, 50, 60% return on your money in a week, guys. Come on. Come on. There is no, hey, send me $1,000 and I want you to be a part of my training program where I'm going to teach you how to trade Forex. I'm going to teach you how to trade options. I'm going to teach you how to trade day trade. Guys, are you really kidding me? You think you're going to pay somebody $1,000 and they're going to teach you enough about those 3 very complicated ways of making money that 1% of the population make money doing? They're going to teach you that in a week. They're going to teach you that by you popping into a live stream in the morning and they showing you some fake charts and some fake returns that they've gotten over the last several. Come on, guys. We got to stop this. This is going to keep you broke and poor. This is not going to build wealth for you. It's going to simply take your hard-earned money and make these get-rich-quick scammers wealthy or rich. That's what they're doing. They make their money off suckering you into believing they're going to teach you something to make you money, and they don't teach you crap. Not one person over the last 3.5 years that I've talked to with these types of scams have made any money. What they've done is they've lost money. They've given these people their money and got nothing in return. Matter of fact, they get the money and guess what they do to you? They block you. They disappear. Poof, disappear off the face of the earth. And then all of a sudden you come find me. Well, some guy on Instagram had your pictures and they thought, no guys, that's not what I do. Do you ever hear me in my videos talking about Forex trading? Do you ever hear me in my 1,000 videos I got up on YouTube? Go into one of those videos where I'm telling you, send me money so I can teach you how to Forex trade. Send me money so I can teach you how to day trade. Send me money so I can teach you how to options trade. Send me money so that I can get you in this crypto scam so you can make money in crypto. No, you won't find one video where I say I do that. You won't find one video where I say I take money from people and I invest it for them. Not one video out of 1,000. What you do hear me say is, oh, I've tried crypto. I don't buy Bitcoin. I don't buy Ethereum. I buy Doge. I buy SHIB because it's cheap and expensive to buy. But if it goes to the moon, I'm going to make a lot of money. That's what you hear me say if I talk about crypto at all. You don't hear me talking about any of those untraditional ways of building wealth. I talk about traditional ways of building wealth that work for the average human being. Like me, I'm an average human being when it comes to investing. I'm no guru. I'm just a guy who understands I'd rather get an 8% return over the course of 10 years than to give my money to some scammer who's promising me a 40% return in a week. Common sense. It doesn't happen that way. If that happened, why in the world are they on here trying to get you to join their training course? If they're getting 40%, 45%, 50% return on their money, like they're telling you they're doing, and they're teaching people to do, why in the world are they doing that? Why wouldn't they just do it themselves and be wealthy? Beyond Imagine. They'd be on CNBC. They'd be on Squawk Box. They'd be on CNN. They'd be on some national broadcast as a genius if they could do that. But no, they slide into your DMs on Instagram. They slide into your email. They tapping you in the comment section of the videos. I get a conversation yesterday with a young lady on DM. Oh, this lady said she can get, I sent her $200 to $300 and she'll double my money. I said, honey, that's a scam. That's not going to happen. Don't give this lady your money. Don't give this person your money. So, second way, right? Second thing, you got to stop buying in order to get yourself to wealth, get yourself to freedom, is stop falling for get rich quick scams. Third thing that I want you guys to stop doing is looking at investments that you don't understand, right? Don't allow people to pitch things to you that you don't understand, right? Don't do that. Again, that's a recipe for financial disaster. If you don't understand how a certain investment works, and I'm not saying you need to be an expert. That's not what I'm telling you. I'm not saying you need to be an expert. What I'm telling you is you do have to have the basic level of understanding of the investment. Someone comes to me and says, hey, Richard, I want you to invest in this real estate project over in wherever. Let's pick a country. Let's say South Africa. I want you to invest in this real estate project over in South Africa. Here are all the details. Here are all the numbers. They look great. We're going to make a killing. You know what I'm going to tell that person? Hey, thank you for the opportunity, but I have no desire to invest in an investment that I know nothing about. I know nothing about South Africa. I know nothing about South Africa's real estate landscape. I know nothing about what the laws in South Africa are as it relates to investing in real estate development. I don't know anything about that. So why in the world would I give you a dime? No. I live in the United States. I'm going to invest in real estate in the United States. That's right. I'm not going to South Africa. Now, if I'm someone that knows South Africa, I go to South Africa all the time. I've already owned real estate in South Africa, and I know exactly what the real estate landscape is there. That's different. But we all get these, hey man, I got a great idea here for this business I want you to invest in. This business is going to do A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Right? This is your buddy, or this is a neighbor, or this is a colleague, or this is your favorite YouTuber, or your favorite Instagrammer, or your favorite TikToker. Right? I'm going to be liked by this person. I'm going to be this person. I want to have what they have. So when they come to me with this great investment idea, I'm going to put my money into it, not knowing exactly what I should be doing with it at all. Guys, don't do it. Don't do it. Right? Don't do it. Do not put your money in these alternative investments that you know nothing about. Now, I could a quick story real quick about it. You know, playing in the NFL for about 3 years, and you know, in that 3 years, had an opportunity to make a little bit of money that I blew through. Of course, you guys know my story about my 3 years in the league. But the thing that popped out was with guys in the NFL, right? Most of those guys don't have a lot of financial literacy. They were just like me. They didn't have a lot of financial literacy. A lot of them made a lot of money because they were great athletes. And they got paid a lot for being great athletes, but they were not good business people. So what would happen is some of these agents and these financial people who manage their money would pitch these crazy investment ideas to them. And with them having a lack of knowledge, a lack of financial literacy, trusting these people would say, okay, they would say, hey man, hey, let's take $2 million and let's put it in this new theme park that they're building in Ohio. It's supposed to be crazy money involved in this. These people know what they're doing. It's going to be a theme park that can rival Six Flags. And guess what? These guys would put their money with these people, $2 million, $1 million, $3 million on some idea, some concept that was not even proven. It wasn't a proven concept, but they did it anyways because why? They trusted these people. They had little to no financial literacy. And they lost all of that money, guys. All I'm telling you is that can be for us too. I know a lot of my clients that I work with in banking have lost a lot of money because of investing in things that they did not know anything about. And I'm telling you not to do that. That's one way, right? That you will keep yourself from getting the wealth. That's one way you'll keep yourself from financial freedom, by investing in things that you don't know anything about. If you don't understand how the stock market works and you're just that uncomfortable with it, don't invest in it. I'm not here to convince you to invest in the stock market. I'm just here to give you options. That's on you if you invest or not. I can tell you what it's done for me in my history. It's been really, really good way for me to multiply money. Why? Because I wasn't looking for a 30% return. I wasn't looking for a 40% return. I wasn't looking for some high risk investment. What I was looking for was a proven 8% return on average or better. And I found that through the S&P 500, right? I found that through the total stock market. That's where I found that at. That's where I put 80% of my money. I don't put my money in high risk international ETFs that deal with international companies and stuff. I don't do that. I don't know anything about international companies. I'm not saying you shouldn't do that. I don't do it because I don't know anything about that. All I want to do is know about what? The top 500 companies in America, the top 3,500 companies in America. That's what I want to know about. Right? I just want to be able to go look at the history of the S&P 500 over the last 90 years and see what the historical track record says. I want to be able to look at the companies in there and say, ooh, I know that company. That's Tesla. Oh, that's Apple. Oh, that's Walmart. That's Home Depot. That's CVS. That's Walgreens. These are companies I know that are going to be here tomorrow. That's what I invest in the stock market. I don't invest in things that I know nothing about, guys. I don't care how good it sounds. Because if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. So that's the third thing I want you to stay away from. Investments that you know nothing about. Number 4, thing you need to stop buying to get rich, to get wealthy, to get financial freedom is a new car. Y'all know that was on the list because we are crazy here in the United States about buying new cars. When we don't even need a new car, we go buy a new car. And we just spend more and more and more and more. The average monthly payment on a new car in the United States is in that $740 per month range. Guys, that's a lot of money, man, for a lot of folks, but that's the average monthly payment for a brand new car. We do understand a car in 99% of the situations is a depreciating asset. There's 1% of cars out there that actually appreciate in value. Those are rare and hard to find cars or antique cars that has some pedigree to them. But that represents 1% of the market, right? 1% of new cars appreciate in value. 99% of new cars depreciate in value as soon as you drive them off the lot. So why in the world would I take my hard-earned money, go out to a car lot, buy a brand new car for $50K, and as soon as I drive it off the lot, it loses 20% of its value. Now it's worth $40K. But I still owe the bank $50K because, see, I financed 100% of it, right? I financed 100% at this high interest rate because I know new car loans rates are very high. Yeah, you may be able to go somewhere and get some type of incentive from the dealer, but yeah, not in most cases. You're going to still have to finance it. You're going to still have to have that interest rate attached to it, right? And then over the course of 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, you're going to have to pay this thing off. And the average monthly payment is $740 per month on new cars. Do you know what you can do with $740 a month over the next 10 years at an 8% rate of return? That's like $150K, man, in an investment. That's what it would grow to, like $150K. Just by taking $700 a month, putting it in an S&P 500 ETF, getting an 8% rate of return over the next 20 years. I'm sorry, next 10 years on average. But yet and still, we'll go out and spend 50, 60, 70, 80, 100K on SUVs and these cars that depreciate as soon as we drive them off the lot. And I know a lot of you are saying, hey man, you're not one to talk. You got 3 cars. What are you talking about? They're depreciating assets. See, the difference though is I'm in the enjoyment stage of wealth. I have assets that generate income, more than enough income to pay for any car that I buy, and I don't even miss it. My assets gonna keep generating that money year after year, decade after decade, without me having to worry about car payments. See, my cars that I own, although they're very expensive, I don't have no car payments. I don't have no loans on them. They're all owned free and cleared by me. That's the difference. See, I'm not going to a car lot and financing 100% of everything. They throw the taxes in there. Throw the tire protection in there. Throw the extended warranty in there. All of a sudden, I done paid $55,000 for a car that's worth $45,000 when I drive it off the lot. And I'm upside down in it as soon as I drive it off the lot. Plus, I got a $700 a month car loan payment. Guys, that's not the way to build wealth. We got to stop doing that. We got to stop doing that. The rule of thumb is you should spend no more than 10% of your gross monthly income on a car payment. No more than 10% or less, right? So if you guys are out there and you're above that, you're just throwing away money. My recommendation, if you're in the building stage of wealth, go take your $5,000 or $10,000 and get you an A to B car. Forget all these brand new luxury cars. Forget it. No one really cares, guys, you drive a Mercedes. No one really cares you drive a BMW. No one really cares you got a Range Rover. No one really cares you got a G-Wagon. No one cares, guys. They don't. If anything, they probably looking at you like, because most people doing what? Struggling. Most people got credit card debt. Most people got student loan debt that they got to get ready to pay for. I just talked to a young lady yesterday in one of my financial sessions. She has, and she's a great lady. And obviously her and I have talked about some situations where she can get herself out of this, but she has over $100,000 in student loan debt. That's the interest getting ready to switch back on here in October. Thankfully, her payment is not astronomical, but it's still $100,000 in student loan debt. And I was saying to her, you ain't got no business going out doing no shopping sprees. Because that was her thing, her vice, her thing that made her feel better and was comfort to her was going out shopping. And I said, no, you got to redirect those dollars. You got $100K in student loan debt. You still haven't gotten to the enjoyment stage of wealth yet. You're still in the building stage of wealth. You can't go on shopping sprees. You got to reprogram the way you think and start putting that money in investments that over time will build wealth for you, and you can get this student loan stuff out of the way. Because at some point you got to pay it back, unless something I don't know out there where they're going to forgive it. But if I know the United States and the way our financial system works, I don't care how many of these candidates say they're going to forgive student loan debt. Not all that debt. It's a bunch of it. I mean, student loan debt is like, if I'm not mistaken, like $1.6 trillion. How you going to forgive all of that? You come out $1.6 trillion. You really think the U.S. government is going to forgive $1.6 trillion in student loan debt? Come on, guys. We're fooling ourselves. They're not. So I told her, look, you got to keep your eye on that. Stop shopping sprees, which include buying new cars. So that's the fourth thing that will stop you guys from getting rich, building wealth, getting to your freedom. Stop buying all these cars, man, these new cars. Don't do it. Don't do it. If you got one right now, sell it. Downsize. Get you a $5,000 to $10,000 A to B car. Dependable A to B car. Get rid of these expensive cars, especially if you got any kind of equity in it. Get rid of it right now. Get rid of it. Why waste this money? Continue to waste this money. So let's move on to number 5. The 5th thing you need to stop buying to get rich, get wealthy, get to your financial freedom. And that's impulse purchases. Yeah, guess what the new one is right now? Yeah, that iPhone 15 titanium. Ooh, Apple finna kill y'all with that one. And it ain't no better than the 14. It ain't no better than the 13. It ain't no better than the 12. But see, that's that hype. That's that propaganda machine that's going to convince you that it is better. And guess what you're going to do? You can go pay that $1,000, that $1,500, or whatever they charge you. They go up every year, right? You're going to keep paying that. That's an impulse buy because you already got a 14, you already got a 13, you already got a 12. It does the same function. Punch in the number and you can talk to somebody. There go Instagram. There go Facebook. There go TikTok. TikTok, you can get TikTok on a 13 just like you can on a 15, right? Because that's what most of us do with it. We just scroll the internet on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat. That's what most of us do. We don't really do anything else with the phone other than just waste time looking at other people's lifestyle and that kind of stuff. That's what most of us do with our phone. We don't use that phone to make money in most cases. We use it as an enjoyment tool. We use it as a consumer tool instead of a producer tool. See, we get these phones and what do we do with them? We just use them as a casual consumer. I'm watching and laughing and having a good old time. Ain't making no money with it. When we should be using those phones as a producer tool. Not a consumer tool, but a producer tool. If you're going to go buy an iPhone 15, you better be using it to make money. Why would you spend that kind of money for a phone? I got a 13, and I just got that 13 a few years ago. Why in the heck would I want a 15 now? I don't know. Impulse purchases, right? Back to this young lady that I spoke with. That was one of her things. Impulse buying, impulse purchases, because it made her feel better, right? It made her feel like put a smile on her face. And that's what impulse buying does for us, guys. It gives us a false sense of gratification, a false sense of I'm doing well, a false sense of I'm gonna get there. Everything gonna be all right. But it's short-lived because that feeling goes away really quickly. All I'm telling you is if you're impulse buying and you're around here online spending all your money to make somebody else wealthy, if you're going out to these shopping malls, stop it. Stop it. Redirect those dollars and start building wealth for you. I already told you guys, Apple is already the most valuable company in the world. I don't know why y'all are hell-bent on making it more valuable. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm loving it because I buy Apple. I buy the stock, right? I buy the stock. So I'm loving it. People keep buying, keep boosting up the stock price, keep making the company more valuable. That means my investment I got in Apple becomes more valuable. That's how it works. I'm a shareholder. I'm a very, 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 very tiny owner of that company, Apple, through my stock purchases. I'm a shareholder. So you buying their very expensive phone, their very expensive earbuds or whatever they call them, all the rest of that crap that Apple sells, guess what? As a shareholder, it's making me wealthy. What I'm going to tell you is if you, at minimum, if you're going to go make Apple rich by buying its products, at minimum, you should be investing in the company. You should be an owner of the company so you can at least get some upside. If you're going to spend money somewhere, I don't care if it's Walmart, I don't care if it's Home Depot, I don't care if it's Lowe's, I don't care if it's CVS, I don't care if it's Publix, I don't care where you spend money. If you spend a bunch of money with that company, that retailer, if you spend a bunch of money with them, you may want to think about going to buy some of their stock. You may want to redirect some of those dollars and buy some stock. Since you're hell-bent on making them rich, you might as well be getting some upside from it. But the impulse purchases, guys, are going to keep you broke and poor. You're not going to build wealth because some people can't control it. Every dime they make, they impulse buy. And a lot of it is being done online. A lot of it is being done while you're scrolling through Instagram, while you're scrolling through Facebook, while you're scrolling through YouTube, while you're scrolling through TikTok. All of a sudden, poof, some flashes up. See, these companies, these smartphones, they are tracking everything we do, guys. You do know that, right? They're tracking everything you look at. Every little thing you look at, they're tracking. And then guess what they're doing? Throwing things at you to buy based on what you're looking at online. They're tracking you through your emails. And I'm not saying that's just something you need to know. They're tracking me too. But see, I know they're tracking me. So when something out of the blue just pops up saying, hey, and I'm thinking, dude, I was thinking about, I Googled that a couple days ago. Now all of a sudden they're trying to sell me to buy it. See, I know that. You have to know that and stop all this impulse buying, because that $100, $200, $500, $600 a month, you're impulse buying. Just think if you got $1,000 a month and you're impulse buying crap, and you've convinced yourself it's a need. Really, it's a want, right? It's not a need, it's a want. But you've convinced yourself it's a need. I'm spending this $1,000 a month, right? It's a need. I need this. I need clothes. I need cosmetics. I need the latest gadget, right? I need the latest iPhone. All these things you've convinced yourself that they're needs and they're really wants. Think about if you took that $1,000 a month and you put it in an S&P 500, 8% rate of return over the next 10 years. What do you think that money would be worth? What do you think that $1,000 a month would grow to? Now, keep in mind, $1,000 a month, right? 12 months in a year times 10. That's 120 months. So you got $120,000 in that investment that you put in. But the sweet thing about it is if you get at least an 8% return, you're going to get another $80,000 in compound from the stock market, right? So I put 120 in, right? I decided to take $120,000 of my money that I was spending on a monthly basis, $1,000 a month. I decided to take that $1,000 a month, stop making some company rich, stop making someone else rich. I redirected that $1,000, committed to it for 10 years to make me rich, to make me wealthy, to get to my freedom. I put 120 in, the stock market through compounding created another 80. So now I got a couple $100,000 that I wouldn't have had if I didn't decide to reprogram the way I think. If I didn't decide to stop being an impulse shopper, an impulse buyer, an impulse purchaser. It's going to keep you broke, man. It's going to keep you poor and broke. Again, if you're in the enjoyment stage of wealth, where 95% of us aren't, if you're in the enjoyment stage of wealth, then yeah, your assets can pay for all that stuff. So if I want to go online and buy something for $1,000, I can, because my assets pay for it. But see, the thing about me is I don't go online and buy stuff for $1,000 like that. Like I told you, I got an iPhone 13, and before that I had an iPhone 10. I had the iPhone 10 for years. I mean, it does the same thing as the 15 does. I can get on the internet and I can make phone calls. The difference with me is I use my iPhone 13 to do what? Make that good old greenback. See, I film all my videos, all my live streams on my iPhone 13 Pro. That's what I film them on. Every one of them. And do you know how much money this phone has made me this year alone? A lot. Do you know how much it made me last year? A lot. Just by using this iPhone 13 Pro to do what? Be a producer, not a consumer. That's the problem with us. Too many of us want to be consumers. We want to sit back and laugh and giggle and Hart, our favorite, oh, Kevin Hart, he's on Instagram promoting his liquor line, his alcohol line. Oh shoot, I love Kevin Hart. Let me go ahead and go to that website and order my liquor from him. Come on, man, are you kidding me? This dude already rich. Yet and still, here you go. Ain't got 2 cents to rub together. And you going to make Kevin Hart richer. Buying his alcohol line. Or any of those other guys and gals out there pandering this stuff to you. And again, I like Kevin Hart. I think he's a brilliant comedian. But I'll be damned if I'm going to go buy any of his alcohol when this dude already rich. I'm not doing it. Matter of fact, I'm not buying anybody's alcohol. Why would I spend my money on alcohol? I wouldn't. What is it doing for me? Nothing. This is what I'm trying to tell y'all, guys. You got to figure out which side you're going to be on. You're going to be on the broken, poor side for the rest of your life, or you're going to get on this wealthy and financial freedom side. That's it. Those are 2 choices. Ain't no in between. It's 2 choices. I'm going to be broke and poor and work for the rest of my life, or I'm going to reprogram the way I think, stop making these entertainers rich, stop making these companies rich. I'm going to reprogram myself, make me rich. And I'm going to get it over here on this side where it's wealth and freedom. Things or freedom. Those are the choices. Things or freedom. You got to decide. Ain't no in the middle. You can't straddle the fence on this one. Oh, I'm going to do 50% things and I'm going to do 50% freedom. No, that ain't how it works. You got to pick a side. It's up to you. I've given you 5 things you need to stop buying to get rich, to get to wealth, to get to freedom. And y'all know these 5 things. Yeah, somebody going to argue with me about, oh, I'm going to buy a house. I got to have a house as an asset. I'm not saying a house ain't an asset. Especially if you use that house to generate income. Wonderful. The whole point is to do what? Your assets should do what? Generate income. What I'm saying is when you living in a house, you're not house hacking it. You're not Airbnb in it. You're not using it as a traditional rental. All you're doing is living in it. Guess what it's doing? It's taking money out of your pocket every single month. It's not putting money in your pocket at all. Again, the goal of assets is to generate what? Income. That's the goal. Why do I take my active income every single month and put it in vehicles that create passive income? So that, guess what? I ain't got to work for somebody for the rest of my life. That's why I do that. I don't do it just because to do it. I do it because I don't want to work for someone for the rest of my life. I keep telling y'all, no one's going to save you. And I got some guy the other, what was it? I think it was yesterday. I saw one comment, I guess on my live stream from yesterday. I don't want to watch if you're going to just preach every day and give a sermon every day. Guess what? Don't watch. I didn't DM you. I didn't email you. I didn't call you and say, by the way, Mr. Subscriber, could you watch my video? I need your view. I need your thumbs up. Watch me. Please watch me. I didn't do that, buddy. Listen, I'm going to make the videos I want to make to reach the people I need to reach. And if you don't like it, don't watch. Case closed. Problem is solved. Don't watch. But I'm going to make the videos that I believe are helpful to get people in the right direction. Again, I'm not here to entertain you. I'm here to educate you based on my 25 years of knowledge. Investing in the big 3 and working in the bank industry for 25 years with hundreds and hundreds of multimillionaires. You don't like my style? Don't watch. I'm already at freedom, guys. So if you don't watch, that's okay. There are plenty other YouTubers out there who will pander to what you want to hear. You're doing great. Just keep it up. Okay. The truth of the matter is we're not doing great, though. That's why 100 million adults in America got no savings in retirement. We're not doing great. That's why we go from $2.1 trillion in personal savings in less than 2 years down to 190 billion, because we're not doing well. That's why we got $1 trillion in credit card debt in the United States. We're not doing well. That's why 61% of people live paycheck to paycheck, because we're not doing well. That's why we have check cashing companies and liquor stores in all of these neighborhoods that, quote unquote, are undesirable neighborhoods. Why do you think a liquor store and a check cashing place would want to be in a place where there's really no economic growth? There's no wealth. Why? Why do they do that? Why? Because they know a lot of those folks do not have access to traditional banking services, and they lack financial literacy. And they know a lot of these folks are susceptible to substance abuse, like alcohol. So what do? Boom, they come in a lot of these. Why don't you ever see a liquor store in a rich neighborhood? Why don't you ever see a check cashing store in a rich neighborhood or a wealthy neighborhood? You never do. I've never seen a check cashing place or a liquor store, unless it's like attached to Publix and Publix owns it. I don't see that. Especially the check cashing. You never see that in a wealthy neighborhood. Why? Because more people with wealth have access to traditional financial banking tools. They can go to the bank and open an account. But see, but what I'm telling you is this country is not doing well financially. That's my point. It's not. Poor folks, middle class folks, upper middle class folks are struggling. The only people doing well in this country are the 1%. Why? Because 99% of the population does everything in their power to make them rich by buying crap they don't need. That's why I gave you these 5 things. 5 things that are you got to stop buying. You're only making the 1% wealthy. We got to stop. So if you don't like that message that I'm going to bring home every single day, then don't watch. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. Go hide behind some other creator who ain't gonna tell you the truth. I'm gonna tell you the truth on this channel. The way I see the truth. Whether you believe it or not, that's okay. But I'm gonna tell you, you can make any comment you wanna make. You ain't gonna stop me from doing what I'm doing, because I know I got a calling for this. This is what I'm put here to do. As long as God gives me breath, sound mind, sound body, I'm gonna be here, because I know there's somebody out there that need to hear this. I know there's somebody out there that's struggling, who about to give up. I know they're out there, and my job is to let them know there's light at the end of the tunnel. But in order to get to that light at the end of the tunnel, we got to do some digging. We got to do some work. And if you're not afraid of digging, if you're not afraid of work, you can get to financial freedom, but you got to reprogram yourself. You got to stop taking your money and spending it on things to make other people wealthy. Got to stop making excuses too. Don't nobody care about your excuses, right? Everybody got their own problems. No one cares. The key is learn from your mistakes and don't repeat them. Learn from your financial mistakes and don't repeat them. Stop buying these 5 things I just talked about if you fall in that category. Now, if you don't fall in that category, kudos. Good for you. But I know many of us do fall into these categories because statistics tell me they do. I keep telling you, we're not doing as well as we think we are. If we mess around and that labor market starts drying up like it is, unemployment starts going up, I'm telling you guys, it's not going to be pretty. So all I'm telling you is to get your financial house in order. Get your financial house in order. Start living on less than what you make. Start living on a plan, which is a financial budget. Know how much money you got coming in, how much you got going out. You need to have money left over at the end of the month to invest. Stay out of consumer debt. Stop going out buying these new cars. Stop all this impulse purchases. Stop running up your credit cards. And then 4th, you got to save and invest. You got to have an emergency fund, 3 to 6 months of your expenses, separate from your regular checking account. And listen, I know people have hardships. I know people have situations where, for whatever reason, they don't have a traditional bank account. They don't have a traditional bank relationship. Do everything in your power to get a traditional bank relationship. Stop using these check cashing places. Stop putting yourself in a financial corner where you got to go out and use these payday loan people. They're predatory, guys. They're predatory lenders. That means they do not have your best interest at heart. All they care about is jacking up the fees as high as the state you live in will allow them to jack up the fees. And sometimes you're paying them 300, 400, 500% of what you borrowed in fees. Come on, guys. I know sometimes we're back against the wall and we got no other choice. But please do everything in your power to get your back off that wall. And I think if some of these things I've talked about today, if you would take to heart and be, listen, guys, I've been there. 26 years old, no job, no net worth, right? I've been there. And I started one day at a time changing the programming in my filter system. And thank God I did. I can't imagine at my age right now, and I'm 55, I can't imagine at my age right now having no net worth, having to work for somebody that I don't want to work for, no emergency fund, high interest rate credit card debt, high interest rate car loan debt, bunch of student loans. The financial pressure that would put on me would be tremendous. I don't want that for any of you guys. So please pay attention to what I'm saying. Please do everything in your power to change the programming in your filter system, right? I had a young gentleman yesterday. One of my guys, he sent me a DM on Instagram. Good guy. He's doing the things he needs to do to try to get himself and his family to freedom. He hit me up and said, hey, man, I got a question about some investments. I'm thinking of doing this and doing that and doing this. And the reason I'm thinking about that is because people in my family are attacking me. They're coming at me, telling me what I'm doing is wrong, all this other stuff. And all the thing I told him was, look, man, let me tell you this. Do yourself a favor. Remove yourself from around people who are not like-minded, right? If they're not thinking the way you're thinking about building wealth, or if they're not already in the enjoyment stage of wealth where they've built wealth, remove yourself from around those people. Remove yourself from around. I don't care if they are your family. Y'all can't come over here no more. If y'all don't come over here talking like that, don't come. Because I don't need you poisoning and trying to reprogram my mind back to the old way. See, that's what people do. They got that crab in a bucket mentality, right? I don't care what race you are. They got that crab in a bucket mentality. Why are you doing that? Oh, that ain't gonna work. Don't you know the stock market is red right now? The stock market is losing money right now? Why would you invest in the stock market when it's losing money? Not realizing if I'm a long-term guy and I'm building wealth, I want to buy assets when they're at a discount, especially if they're good assets. They don't understand that concept though. All they know is what some guy done told them on mainstream media that the 1% control. Get out now, it's the wrong time, crash is coming, all this kind of crap, right? I told him, remove yourself. And what you do is you find yourself a gang of 5. That don't need to be people that you physically know and physically need to be around. Go out online and find you a gang of 5 of people who are where you want to be. Legitimate people out there who have already built wealth the way you are building wealth. That's who you surround yourself with. That's who you listen to. That's who you watch. Stop hanging around people who want nothing more than you to wallow in pity and wallow in brokenness and poorness like them. Get from around those people. Get from around them, guys. They do not want to see you successful. Why? Because they're not successful. They do not want to see you do well. Why? Because they're not doing well. See, that's just our human nature, right? Oh, how he get to do that? How he do this? Why he got the investment? Why? Because he paid the price. This young guy is paying the price, right? He's getting money. He's making money. He's learning how to keep that money, and he's learning how to multiply it. Why? To take care of him and his family down the road. That's what we all should be doing. But you know how we are in this world, right? We are that way in this world. We want to see people do bad when we're doing bad. That's just how we are. I don't know many people that's doing real bad that say, oh, I'm doing terrible, but I'm going to keep doing everything I can to help you do well while I do bad. That's not how we wire. We wire, when we're doing bad, we want everybody else to do bad. You got to remove yourself from around those people if you're going to build wealth. I do not have anybody in my life that try to speak negative stuff in my life. They ain't around me. They ain't around me. They know how I am. I don't even roll like that. I'd rather be by myself in solitude, building wealth, doing the right things with my money, keeping my mind clean, keeping my mind positive, helping people, than to be around a bunch of people who all they want to talk about is doom and gloom. All they want to talk about is politics. All they want to talk about what's wrong with the world. I don't want to be around those type of people. I want to be around people who understand people go through phases, right? I understand that. But I don't want to be around people who always are pessimistic. I want to be around people who are optimistic, but genuine optimism. And that's what you should be doing. Well, guys, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this thing up. I want y'all to do me a big favor. Y'all know I got to ask you to hit the thumbs up, right? If you appreciate the content, hit the thumbs up. That gives me the opportunity, that gives this channel the opportunity to be spread out to more people by the YouTube algorithm so we can help more people get to their financial freedom. That's the only purpose of this YouTube channel, is to get people to freedom. That's it. That's the only purpose. So hit the thumbs up. The more times you hit it, the better. Please hit the thumbs up. It really, really helps the channel out, and it helps me out too. So please smash that like button. Give us a thumbs up. Also, I want you to consider sharing this video with somebody that you know. Maybe share it with somebody that you don't know too. Anybody in your network, anybody in your sphere, anybody you work with, any family members, any friends, any acquaintances, share the video with them. Let them take a look at it and make a decision on their own if it's something that they want to consider. At least you've done your part to pay it forward. That's the key, guys. When we get information that we believe is helpful, we want to share that information with someone else. And I'm asking you to share this video with somebody that may benefit from it. Don't make that decision for them, just share it. And that would be great. And on top of that, smash that thumbs up button again. Smash that like button again. If you want up to 12 free stocks from Webull, click on that link down in the description box. Webull's going to give you up to 12 free stocks when you open a new Webull brokerage account. Put any amount of money in that brokerage account. They're going to give you up to 12 free stocks for just trying out that brokerage app. Here's the deal, guys. If we're going to use paper assets to build wealth, ETFs, index funds, Correction, ETFs, individual stocks. We cannot buy index funds on the Webull app. Or matter of fact, on any self-directed app, you're not going to be able to buy index funds, but you can buy ETFs and individual stocks. So if you want to get in that particular investment mode where you're going to use paper assets to build wealth, you got to have a brokerage app. No better brokerage app out there than Webull. I use Webull every day to transact business. Whether I'm buying or selling, I'm using Webull. And I'm asking you to give it a shot. I wouldn't ask you to do anything that I'm not doing, guys, that I don't use. Y'all know that. Y'all know on this channel, I don't flood you guys with a bunch of products and services. I don't do that. I could, because I get offers all the time from companies, but I choose not to do that. I choose to just give you the content, and then I give you what I use. And the only thing I use right now is Webull. I don't use no Robinhood. I don't use anything else. And I ain't knocking Robinhood, but I don't use it. I use Webull. So that's the one I'm going to ask my audience to consider. So if you want to be on the same page as me, and you want the free tutorial video that I'm going to send you when you sign up and make a deposit to your new Webull account, link down in the description box for Webull. And then I'm also going to send you a free Webull tutorial video if you DM me on Instagram at RichardFain28. Just DM me and say, hey, Richard, open the Webull, funded it, send me the tutorial. And boom, it's on its way to you. I appreciate you guys for stopping by, tapping in. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. You bring so much joy to my life. You really do. And I'm so fortunate that I'm able to hang out with you guys every single day. And hopefully, some of these things that I'm talking about, you are plucking them and applying them to your financial life. Thoughts become things. If you can see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hands. You guys keep chasing your greatness and never stop believing in yourself. Never, never, never stop believing in yourself. And I'm going to catch you on the next live or on the next video. Peace.